I sincerely want to welcome you to this inauguration of the Adamawa. I sincerely want to appreciate you for making our time to be part of this very historic moment. Chairman of this special occasion, Honorable Commissioner Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, Ministry of Town Planners and Job Rate, other professional body here represented, Directors of the Board, Adamawa State Urban and Regional Planning,
I, Town Planner Alice Ambrose Egombe, with great humility and respect, that I welcome all of you to this unique and rare occasion of inaugural ceremony of Men and Technical Committee on Street Naming and House Numbering. I sincerely apologize for the shift in date and any inconveniences this might have caused to you. I call this occasion rare and unique because this particular exercise was conducted last in the state in the year 2003 during the 50th birthday anniversary of late Dr. Aliyu Mustafa of blessed memory, the then Lamido of Adamawa. Street naming and house numbering is a developmental activity practiced worldwide. Its importance and benefits cannot be overemphasized. These include easy identification of locations, ensures rapid response by emergency service providers to precise locations within our communities. It also enhances general delivery of services and tax revenue collection by the relevant MDS. It also provides a vital organ for honoring our deserving personalities and makes the general public to feel the impact of the state government and give prompt and appropriate security where necessary. Street naming and house numbering is also a vital component to the success of state fiscal, transparent, accountability, sustainability, that is called SIFTAS, and property tax DLI 11.3 program. The lack of proper addressing system, especially the functional streets in most urban centers, have a deep-seated problem in the state, where people have to use landmarks in describing locations. It also discourages prospective investors from investing in the state, to mention but a few. On this note, may I seize this opportunity to greatly thank His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Adamawa State, Right Honorable Ahmadu Umaru Fintri, the Fresh Air and ATM Governor, the Project Master, the Doctor of Urban Renewal and Rehabilitation. That is what we call him here in this board. He is the doctor. For granting approval for the formation and inauguration of the Men and Technical Committees for effective implementation of street naming and house numbering in the state, and also installing a state-of-the-art GIS center here in the board, which will link the Ministry of Lands and Survey, Adamawa State Board of Internal Revenue, and other relevant agencies. With this, when this is achieved, this will uplift the state, a strict addressing system and management of the state as a whole. At this juncture, may I seize this opportunity to sincerely congratulate members of these two committees on such well-deserved responsibility, with the hope that your contributions will impact positively on the good people of Adamawa State. Finally, may I humbly once again welcome all of you to this special occasion and wish us all the best as we embark on this great task bestowed upon us to bring a remarkable change in the state. Thank you all, and God bless us.
The Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Housing and Urban Development, President of Barrister Sunday Matthew Yegura, for an opening and welcome address.
I'm the Acting Permanent Secretary, Minister of Housing and Urban Development, the General Manager, Asubda, a representative of the Emirate Council, board members, and directors of Asubda here present, representative of various professional bodies here present, and then security agencies. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Firstly, I want to commend His Excellency, Right Honorable Amadou Umaru Fintiri, the Executive Governor of Adamawa State, who deemed it fit and proper that after a very long period of time, without having this committee on ground, he has given approval for his constitution, that is why we are here today. I know it is indeed a very long period that this exercise or this committee has been on ground, probably over 40 years or 30 years. 20 years, okay, not 20 years. This committee has already constituted, but officially, street naming and house numbering has not been done in this state for a very long period of time, except for isolated cases by this particular agency. And it is now with great pleasure that this exercise will now commence. And as we are aware, the world today is a global village. We cannot be left behind. In some countries, even in Nigeria, when you go to Lagos, you find cars that are not driven by a human being, but is being operated, and location is being identified by the use of GPS or DGPS. This is in our country. Adamawa State is part of this country, so we must move forward. With this exercise that is coming up, it is indeed an exercise that has taken place long time ago. Even the ones that have been on ground are now no longer functional, because you cannot identify the name of streets and houses in some places, even within the urban center. The mark of identification of streets are no longer there. That of the houses are no longer there. Therefore, it's indeed a great achievement for this exercise to commence, and it's going to be an exercise that will take a long period of time, because it is supposed to start all over so that it will be comprehensive or wholly the exercise will take a gradual process. ASUPDA, being the agency responsible for urban and regional planning in the state, has a great task in development, planning, and control. This area of responsibility includes but not limited to the following. In collaboration with Land and Survey Ministry, the board ensures strict adherence to surveyed layout as presented by the Ministry of Land and Survey. Cross-check adherence to building plans during construction. Cross-check any encroachment during construction or building plan. Cross-check offsets to adjacent building, street and roads. The street naming and house numbering constitutes the most important aspect of urban development, as it ensures the following. Movement from points A to B by name of street. The connection of one street and the other by their names. Ensure true names, quick response to alarms raised by security agencies. It facilitates delivery of goods and services to all parts of the urban areas, which otherwise can cause delays and even total lack of identification of required area or house. House numbering. The description of a house is based on the number allocated and marked on it, alongside street name on which the house is positioned. In times of either distress call or alarm raised by the occupants to security agencies, the name of street and the house number is used to facilitate quick response. The provision of services like electricity, water, gas supply in developed countries is the street and house number that's used for identification. The disconnection of installations of these services are also guided by the street and house number. Other importance of the street and house numbering includes, but not limited to, main towns or villages names are allocated as street names, e.g. Gasol, Banjira, Bukari, Valley Streets in Jamaica. And then streets are named after individuals on payment of heavy sums as revenue. Citizens of a state who have contributed immensely to the state, streets are named by their names, e.g. Justice Buba Ardo, Atiku Abubakar Roads, streets, etc. Important building names are also used to name streets, e.g. hospital roads. As we are aware, the truth is that street naming and house numbering is maybe synonymous to someone who is an adult but he doesn't have a name. Imagine the difficulty that will be encountered in the course of identifying that particular individual, because he doesn't have a name. It will end up on description, and descriptions might coincide. And that is why you find some people being arrested wrongly, and they are taken to the police station, only to discover eventually that is the wrong person that has been got to. But if streets are named and houses are numbered, these problems will not arise. The forms we fill today, any form that is given to you, you will see that they will ask you for your house number and street name. In fact, people went to the extent of giving wrong information, because the form cannot be collected until you give the street name and the house number. And some streets, some people don't have these street names and house numbers. So they have to engage in giving fake information. As we can see, the importance of these street names and house numbers cannot be overemphasized. Therefore, once again, I congratulate all members that are part of this very important assignment. It is a great assignment indeed. It is my prayer that we will achieve success even as we embark on it. With this brief inaugural remarks, I want to declare that this committee is hereby inaugurated. Thank you very much.
A gaskiya wato a ce an yi hanyoyi, sannan kuma za ka tafi wani wuri a ce mai lambar gidanka baka sani ba, mai hanyar street naku baka sani ba. Kaga wannan a gaskiya muna da damuwa. In an yi abu biyu ko zuwa uku zai taimaka. Na farko, idan barawa ya shiga gidanka za ka iya ka buga ma ɗan sanda ka ce a layi ka, Allah ya kiyaye, ko batun maganar hatsarin mota ko kuma mara lafiya asibiti. Kaga wannan duka in baka da wannan layin da lambar gidanka, duk wannan ya zama shirme. Kuma a gaskiya na yi mamaki tun kamar yadda ita ta faɗa ta shekara 20 lokacin da aka yi, ba a sake yi wannan abin ba. Kuma a wancan shekara 20 a tuna Jimeta akwai ma inda ba a gini ba, yanzu an yi gine-gine an hada, an yi hanyoyi, sannan kuma aina ne hanyar gidanka baka sani ba. Kaga wannan babban damuwa ne, don haka ni ina gani na fi kowa jin daɗi in an yi wannan. Mun gode, Ubangijin Allah ya saka muku da alheri. Sai dai mai girma kwamishina na ji ya ce kamar in mutum zai yi hanya kamar zai zama na iyayenmu ko na wani abu, akwai biyan da ake yi da ya faɗa da turanci. To ina nufin akwai wata hanya bata wuce kilomita 1 ba, wani kuma ya yi kilomita 2, ya yi 3. To kuɗin duka ɗaya ne ko kuma don wannan guntu zai zama kaza wannan tambaya. Sannan kuma in kamar misali shi mai girman gwamnanmu yanzu shi ya yi hanya daga kofan gidana har ya zagaya ya fita wannan hanyar gidana, kaga Togo Street ne, sannan ya hada da na wuri kuturu ana ce Jambutu Street, har ya gangara ya fita da Dobe. Kuma gaba ɗaya mutanen mu suka ce a sa sunansa. To ya ake yi, mu ne za mu biya ko kuma gwamnati? Wannan shi ne tambayar da nake son gane, domin in na koma na tabbatar akwai wa'anda za su yi su tambaye ni, kar in rasa abin da zai gaya muku. Na gode.
Permit me to stand on the existing protocol. I welcome everybody to this occasion. And also permit me to narrate a small run of this committee was saddled with a lot of responsibilities. This committee, to my feeling, is that like you have a human body who is well dressed but has no eye. That's exactly what this thing is to a city. If a city is there and it has no name or street, you cannot walk, you cannot do it. Thank God it's a statutory responsibility. The law establishing this board has made it mandatory that it's a standing committee in each state. It will not even stop here, it will go to local government and go to wards. So it does not stop here. But it has a Herculean task. Sir, before I sit down, let me tell you that it's just a starting point now. You have to move to the next one. The next one is that you have to review the laws declaring urban centers. Because as it is now, for the last 20 or 40 years, we are operating in a vacuum. In a vacuum in the sense that there is a law that is supposed to declare all our local government to be urban, but that was not to be. The last time it was done, it was in 1985. So all our local governments, we call them urban, but they are illegal. Illegal in the sense that if somebody challenges them, they are out of it. And nobody can do that but only government. We pushed and pushed and pushed. Unfortunately, it's only today God has made it that we are seeing this thing. Please don't let in your effort. Make sure the technical committee will brief you fully on this occasion so that you also push it. I know we're in politics, by the grace of God, the governor will turn and will make sure we progress so that everything will go smoothly. I want to take it upon yourself. This is a very big responsibility. Look at how this city has grown now, amorphously. In the last 10 years, if you see the way Jamaica has expanded, and in the next 10 years perhaps, Jamaica will join Yola, and we are growing amorphously. There is no way. Like somebody rightly observed, people are taking laws into their hands. I have seen that they are naming streets, Parkland Street, Odogo Street, and this one. This has not followed the protocol, and if somebody takes them to court, it will be a big matter. But now that we have this committee, I urge everyone of us concerned this one, let's put hands together. I will make sure that this, now that Jamaica does not have an eye, let's give it an eye. Anybody coming from outside, we have the technical know-how, we have the knowledge and everything. We have our gentleman there who are just talking about Googling of everything. The world is a mini village now. You can sit down here with our technology. You need not to move, but you get everything with the handset and the other instruments we're using. You see this now. Before, if you want to update this one, you have to go street by street. But now we have a drone. In less than an hour, it has finished everything and allocate everything to your level that you see everything before you. So we have no reason to complain that we cannot be able to do. Somebody mentioned of Lagos. Yes, Adamawa can be better than Lagos. It depends on the importance you give and also the resources you have. Collection of money. Board of Internal Revenue, it's now time you say you clap, because there are so many programs that come and will generate money. Land and survey is a time now. They carry certified certificates. There are so many houses now that do not have title. May Angwa knows it. There are houses that used to be one, but now they have been divided into 4. It's the right time now that whatever, if it is a statutory right, you surrender the certificate, you recertify the other one so that everybody will have title over his something and his money. I remember Kaduna was the first one to do it. When Erufai came to power, he called the planners in Kaduna. Incidentally, our past president of Nigeria, Sultan Planner, was a friend whom he worked with when he was in Abuja as a minister. And they blew out the planning. Within 1 year, the revenue generation of Kaduna rose from 20 million to 4 billion. And so now they are getting over 40 billion. So he can pay his salary, he can pay his other project without minding whether they have statutory allocation or not. So Adama will be privileged to have this one. I'm sure if we put hands together before the year runs out, we will have something to show. And I'm sure the governor will be very happy that we have people who have helped people, and there are people that are now taking care of the citizenry and everybody. Even security, you say, these cameras you see, in developed world, they don't use everything. They have police and road safety and everybody position. All they need is, they have a drone close to them that is monitoring. Immediately something happens, they will just see it, and then before you know what, all the 4, the police will be there, the road safety will be there, the VIO will be there, everybody. Everybody will take notes, and before you know it, within short time, they have cleaned everything. So, at least this is a very, very big task. We hope the government will honor it and give it sufficient funding so that within short time, they will also recoup their money and have more benefits. May I have single honor to thank you, Commissioner, for working hard to get this thing done. And we hope that you will also do more so that we will receive the benefits of this one. And I'm sure everybody will be happy by the time this thing comes on board. Thank you for giving permission to say a word.
Permit me to stand on the existing protocol. It seems I'm the only member of the Citizens Steering Committee that is here except the GM and the program manager. So first of all, I'm here in 2 or 3 different capacities. One, representing my Honorable Commissioner, who is also a member of SIPTAS, who is unavoidably absent on a special assignment in Madagascar. He sent his goodwill message to the main committee and the technical committee, and he wished them a successful operation and successful delivery in their assignments. I'm also here in my own personal capacity as a major stakeholder, not only being a town planner, but a permanent secretary of the Ministry of Plan and Survey, the ministry that is responsible for producing the maps or the plans that will guide development in this state. It will interest you to note that the master plan for Adamawa, that is Greater Yola, Adamawa and Yola, they are two twin cities, was first conceived in 1974, awarded when we were under the Northeast region. Then the status of Yola was the provisional headquarters. Soon after commissioning the contractors on the job, and almost at the point of delivery, the status of Yola changed from a provisional headquarters to the state capital. And you can imagine the projection of the master plan vis-a-vis the influx of people, those coming from Maiduguri. You know, Gongola State was created, and some part of Benue Plateau was also marched to Adamawa State, to Gongola State again. So even before 5 years, the projected area for the master plan was exhausted. Then we are not even reached the stage of review. What happened was that the civilian government then, under the leadership of late Abubakar Barde, decided to award the contract in piecemeal. They awarded the Bajabre master plan, which was not part of the Greater Yola master plan. So you see, towns are supposed to be guided by master plan. On delivery, we now experience another coup d'etat, which brought in the military government. What would guide development again? We are now operating the military marshal that brought about the Obat Declaration. General Jiga declared all local government headquarters and gazetted as Obat areas, including Greater Yola, giving it a radius of 16 kilometers, starting from the post office. You will all believe with me that the 16 kilometers radius was long over-exhausted. If I'm not mistaken now, you are going beyond 20 kilometers radius. So in 2009, Adamawa State government brought back Maslows to come and review the Greater Yola master plan. The contract was awarded. They started their work. I think they delivered only the inception report before they stopped along the way. And in the context of that assignment, the radius of Yola now, Greater Yola, has been extended to about 50 kilometers, which will catch part of even the local government, Gire, part of Fufore, and the entire Jimeta is the nucleus of the town, then part of Yola South local government. Why do I have to bring this short history of Yola? Because all our activities center it is our headquarters. And it is our responsibility to make this headquarters beautiful. How can we make it beautiful? It has to be the plan. And with the plans, we can have the street, and this street, as all the previous speakers have said, for the past 20 years, we have been giving birth to children without giving them names. Because the last exercise was carried out 20 years ago, when the late Lamido was celebrating his 50 years on the throne as the Lamido of Adamawa. So this development is a welcome one if we look at the brief history of Jimeta Yola. And this incident or this exercise It's not only for Greater Yola, that is Jamaica and Yola, or part of Giri, it will extend to all the local government headquarters. We have Greater Mubi. The Greater Mubi comprises of Mubi North and Mubi South, and even some part of Maya in the proposed master plan, because Maslow was given to review also Mubi, because they were the people who prepared the master plans then in the 1970s. So, you see, we are having challenges all over. There is a lot to be done by this committee and the technical committee. And I also want to suggest that apart from the main committee and the technical committee, we should have some technical committees so that it will hasten the job of giving all the towns their required services in street naming and house numbering. And my senior colleague here has mentioned about this urban boundary and challenging that we should declare some towns that were not earlier declared as urban centers. I want to assure you that the ministry, with its agency, the Surveyor General Office, you have started projecting and preparing a gazette for the governor's consideration on the extension of the Greater Yola urban boundaries as I have enumerated. So also, the master plans will also have to revisit so that all our towns and cities should have a befitting master plan. On this note, on behalf of the Honorable Commissioner and all other members of the Citas Steering Committee and myself, we want to congratulate the main committee and the technical committee and wish them a successful job. Thank you very much.
To let us know the main committee and even the technical committee that will be inaugurated later, that this is just an inauguration ceremony. We will also have a tutorial class when we organize it, because some of us are lay in the field and we need to update ourselves. So we have to find resource persons that will call the main committee for updating and then knowing your rights and left so that we can start the exercise immediately. So don't bother even if you are not on the line, but as I have said, we will do that so that all of us will be on board by the time we start the exercise. So we'll be communicating to the various members of the committee. From time to time, you'll be receiving our letters, inviting you to come for a meeting, inviting you for all that needs to be put in place for this exercise to have its success. That is why I'm here. If you're opportune in the afternoon around 2, we will also inaugurate the technical committee. Thank you and God bless us.
I think this project comes at the right time. The Federal Road Safety Corps, being the lead agency in traffic management, will use the street numbering and the street naming to easily contact, especially when there is crash. If we already have our own database, but when this street numbering and naming come into existence, like we have all said, all speakers mentioned that we have extension of the localities here without street naming. If we get that, even the vehicle registration and the driver's license application and processing will be much easier for us in the Federal Road Safety Corps. I think this project is a laudable one, and Federal Road Safety will be fully and part of it, even to ease our own job. I think I will thank His Excellency for this approval and all that are involved in the project. Thank you very much.
Commissioner for Housing Development, my permanent secretaries here present, the representative of the Emirate Council, the representative of the Chairman Board of ASUBDA, the General Manager ASUBDA, good afternoon. I feel very delighted to be here today on this occasion of inauguration of street naming and house numbering committees. In fact, a lot has been said, but as we road traffic officers in this state, this thing has come at a very good right time. Because now, when you go into our localities, you will see blockage of road access by motor public. People park vehicles randomly anyhow. They don't obey this traffic regulation of parking vehicles on the access road. They block culverts. They block all entrances of other houses. They block a lot of people from accessing to their various locations. With this exercise in place, I am very sure all these things can be a thing of the past. So thank you. We are going to give a maximum cooperation to make sure we utilize this,
including the road safety. Okay, let me not go further. And we are much happier because the street naming and the house numbering will help us to easily identify the suspect or the complainant when asked to give address, because we used to have this complication on where do we live. Person will start like describing of where he lives, but we need to know actually where he lives. So I think we are much happier than anybody. Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
For the road safety representative of the VIOs, the board members, on behalf of my honorable commissioner, I want to appreciate your quick response.